design, create, and present an original piece of blown glass art. We'll be evaluating your work based on your design concept, your technical skill, and your overall presentation. And your time starts now. It sounds like they want us to sculpt a body part, but I also think there's a lot of room for interpretation. Basically, just a gist with two images, one on each side, and it just spins and combines them together. I want to use two lungs, inflated and deflated. Everyone knows what a human body looks like. You're going to have to nail it. The thinker by Rodin, kind of like he's on the toilet. The thought here is he gets up from his deep thought, and he instantly steps in, go. I really haven't got time to develop really abstract ideas, so I'm going to have to be pretty literal. So I'm going to do a hand, just a walking hand. Inspiration comes from myself. Quite often in the morning, my son doesn't want to wake up. I've always played this little game with him. I just go, no, I tickle his face and, oh dear, take it in glasses. Look for the nice shower.
Hi, Dad.
And you gotta turn it on. I don't know where this is gonna get crazy, but when I believe that some things get crazy. So today, we're working with two assistants who studied at Sheridan College in their glass department. I know I cannot do it alone, so they're gonna have to take some heat for me. All for me. Nobody else can use. It's insane to be this close to the end. Deborah and Yanush are stiff competition. I really have to go all in from here on out. This is worth this fun. The three of us left. You can't help but get your hopes at this point.
Well, hello.
So just hold out and do your best and go for the win. 4 hours.
You can have one.
Make the hand.
You can have one.
No. Just turn up. That's it. No more. No. Doing this one for me.
Turning my key. So the challenge gives us a 4-hour time constraint to do our pieces in, and my first thought is that's a cool joke. Are you kidding me? Somebody back me up? I've only looked at 1 or 2 human feet in my life, and solid sculpting takes forever. Faster, a little bit faster. Like I get it in the right shape. I'm taking this, doing this technique. I'm wondering if this is the right idea. $70 meal like that's perfect. That is perfect. When I depart from like the most conventional interpretation of the challenges, I've been the most successful, so I'm going to try to keep doing that. I think I've definitely done something off in left field. Say it flat side down. If the evaluators are looking for something different, I think they'll find it in my piece. It's going to be encased in a solid glass ball. There might be an easier way to do it, I just haven't figured it out. I'm not worried about the hand not having enough color. If the color's too far beneath the surface, when I put all these details on, the hand could look like it was just sitting there inside this clear material. It looks good. I'm going to stuff the cup with a clear bubble so the color's on the outside of the hand when I finish it. I haven't ever worked in even these techniques I'll be using. It's not the best situation to be trying something for the first time. Something could go terribly wrong. Okay, here we go. The beginning of misery. Shall I do this? Turn now?
Come on.
People do often comment when they see glass blowing for the first time that this is like such a dance because once you're working with somebody and have familiarity with what they're doing, you just sort of know what that person's going to do and you kind of just move around and step into these positions. It's very similar to dance. And communication between them so that they understand what the common goal is. Yeah. Like how I would dance with a partner. Is there anything that you want to see in actually deliver? Right now, because we're seeing so much of the glass in this liquid form, I'm seeing a lot of fluidity and a lot of movement in the glass. I would hope to see that when the glass is in its solid form, it would still evoke those same feelings. That is a challenge. Yeah. So, do me a favor and grab the smaller lungs. We're going to stick them right onto this disc. This challenge is really going to be technically arduous. I'm trying to make something really, really complicated. There's so many little parts that have to come together. Okay, so then, yep. There's not time to do it twice, so whatever I make, that's what I'm using. 2 hours left! Working solid glass is different than working hollow glass. It feels heavier. One small move, this thing is going down. All right. And I'm constantly coaching my assistants. Be careful, take it slow. Be careful. I know I won't get a second chance. It's nail it or die. Careful! Be careful. Be very careful. Don't hit anything. It takes you back hours. I'm putting a lot of responsibility on the assistants. Flip. Don't let it bounce. Whatever you do. Other things sort of bubbling over. And flip. No, I need to go the other way. I know it's annoying, but they have to put up with it. Hi, Deborah. How you doing? My duck's here. I see a foot in progress. It's a classic foot. Yeah, like some laughable geek or rolling stock Mary or more like a Rodin thinker. Like the thinker got up off his stool and stepped in leaves of gum, basically. That's what I'm trying to make. And looks like you're getting close. Have you done a lot of figure sculpting? Well, not
And you mother.
a lot of animal feet. Oh, wow. Look at that. Right. Over. I've never made anything like this before, so I'm not really at all confident I can do it.
So today's challenge is to capture human movement, the body part in motion.
Human movement.
Not even human movement. The most challenging part about making anything related to the human body is that we're also familiar with it. If I'm going to make a hand, it's going to be pretty obvious whether it looks like a hand or not, or kind of a so-so hand. So, you know, elegant hand is.
I want to encase these lungs in clear glass. One blob at a time. I'm going to run clear bits and just keep layering glass up in that way. Heat the whole thing up, shape it so that it's round. Alright, ready. Smooth. You got that, right? Hi Alex, how's it going? Pretty good, how are you? I got lungs in there, small lungs and big lungs. So I'm trying to make this sphere that has these two images inside of it, and I want it to kind of spin like a top. Yep. I'm hoping it's going to look like inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to try to put this in a bowl full of balls so that it kind of spins. Oh, wow. Yeah, good luck, Alex. Yeah, thank you.
To make it be perfect, other than my wife, it would be my son. He brings a smile to my face every time I see him. Every day he's been going down to the studio and pretending to blow glass. He's only 2.5, but he can turn the pipe, he uses a torch, he's got all the use now.
What the?
A ray of light in everyone's
It's
life.
not pretend. It goes down in bad things, pretend. I'm using an efficiency of movement. It's really the toes that are moving. Done in a subtle way, which I think that's where the artistry comes in. I think that Greta might pick up on that because she was saying she had to control every small movement to give meaning to what she does. So the toes are definitely places where small movement occurs. Proportion. They get them right. I mean, the ballerina out there judging me. Same thing as before. Hold these on the front feet. Pick up with me. We made a big solid sphere of glass with the lungs encased. Alright, take it up. We're going to the dealer. Alright. Stand it up. Yeah, you got it. Whoa! Alright, quick. Close the door for a second. This would be the time to slow down, but there's just not time for that. That's okay. Over.
So I have to be really, really careful about the finger if you go into a realistic hand, which I am. If I pull one finger skinny, that means the other one's going to look fat, and I'll have to make those skinnier. It's a can of worms if you don't get it right. Man, after 35 years I have blood glass. Big hands. I won the first challenge and I won the most recent challenge. That's kind of a nice bookend for me. In the end, it really doesn't matter how many challenges you've won, except for the last one, right? There we go. You got the door? Never done anything like this before. It's kind of showing. I'm not going to say I deserve to be here, but, you know, I have won 3 challenges, so like, it's great to be just a little bit closer to winning, hopefully. Sure, one thing that came out.
Don't close, don't close. Okay, if you're closing while I'm coming out, you can tag me. Inhabiting the hot shop as a huge theme of last floor is very important to me. It worked my butt off to get here, and I want to win it.
Right.
1 hour left! 1 hour! Is that normal? The stress level.
Yeah.
We just want to get this thing over with. Open! Like I'm standing here with like a 20-pound foot.
Deborah's yelling to her assistant, and her assistant can't hear her, so she's yelling.
Put these 2 items over there and open the door. Listen to me.
Things were getting a little emotional. Right?
She's looking at herself.
And dare I say annoying.
I need a flash. I need a flash.
Oh. Stop shouting, for God's sake.
I think we're good. I say it's done. It's over. We're taking it off. I can't sculpt anymore. It's over. Grab it and go. I think my foot looks pretty good. Will it meet a ballerina standard? Nothing might be a ballerina standard. Sorry about that.
For that, I'm relieved that I managed to get something close to what I was after. I'm not worried about the color. Turned out to be really bad. Alright, get that blanket, mate.
What the hell? Obviously doing something wrong on that part.
There's never too many balls.
Anytime there's a sword clash, I never do it right.
Today's challenge is to capture human movement, the body part in motion. Going into this critique, I hope that my idea is something that the judges can relate to. It's a very sincere idea to me. I think it does express movement and hopefully some grace.
I think I deserve a lot of credit here.
I don't know, I haven't even bothered to look because it's all garbage.
Going into this critique, I really hope that the evaluators get a little bit of a sense of wonder looking at this piece and pushing
I guess I didn't read it.
abilities to their limits.
So this is Munish's work. The concept behind this is that he wakes up in his pretty much real sun doing this gesture, you know, like where you come up and then you take a look. The sun's really adorable. The black. It feels a little heavy. It doesn't feel as light as I was hoping the piece would come across. I think he's meant to make it dark and black. Yes, that's a very conscious choice, you know, picking out whatever rod of color this is, so he knew that was going to be dark. And then capture your body emotion.
I think showing the finger extended, obviously you get that feeling from the position of the hand.
Yeah. It's a very warm feeling that it evokes, which I think really helps carry this piece. As it spins, it evokes the bodily process with which the object was created. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a whirl. Wow. You tell me, does it look like he's breathing? Deep breath? No. Did it take your breath away? I'm holding my breath. No, you know, he really pushed himself and the challenge in terms of actually making something that does literally move. Yeah. Whether it's really worth the way he's envisioning, maybe it's not quite there, it still is a beautiful object to look at.
The presentation is really quite spectacular, but I'm not sure that he really nailed the body in motion part of it.
Fair, very fair. Okay, so this is Deborah's, and Nickel's thought. I think it's great. Yeah, I agree. This might be the first time we ever saw somebody do something figurine-esque, perfectly clear glass. Obviously, how that put it in motion with Demi Point. He's like done quite a great job at doing a realistic-looking toe. It's really wonderful in the detail. You know, the scale of the gum is maybe a little excessive. It starts to get a little pop-arty, a little bit oversized. And, you know, it doesn't quite look like how gum might look, but for this being for the second to last challenge, I think she really stepped up. Stepped up. Wow. I'm just waiting, kind of slide that in. So, let's go here from that. Okay. Between Alex and Amy and myself. This is it.
And you go home a winner or a loser. I don't want to go home a loser.
This morning we asked you to humanize class and show us a body in motion. Something that is very difficult to get right. Alexander, please tell us about your work.
I really wanted to make physical movement as opposed to kind of like illustrate it. So I made this object that has these lungs that would rotate and kind of illustrate that pulsation.
I found your work particularly interesting. It wasn't maybe a
Did he ever give her the flowers in the show?
And the challenge was a body in motion, but I did really
They made,
how you took a solid
they made a big thing about it, and I don't think he did, but he gave it to her in this.
Parts made and the engineering on it works great. The piece does spin. Might not spin.
Oh, your neck is so much better.
But it was nice that it was engaging and interactive, even though I personally was kind of holding my breath when we were spinning.
Don't, it's, you're special. Special art slows down time.
Sculpting the human body realistically in clear glass is one of the most difficult things you can do. I really appreciate the risk that you took to sculpt solid glass and be as realistic as you have made it. I think maybe a small sticking point was maybe the scale of the bubble gum, but kudos for taking such a big risk. I felt like you really delivered on the challenge, showing motion, showing the foot in motion, the Demi Point. That was really wonderful.
Yes. Please tell us about your glass art. In the morning, I started doing this thing with my son. I just started working up his body and and tickle it.
Well, I personally can really relate to your piece. I also have a 2.5-year-old, so just the familiarity of that movement, that was really well conveyed in the piece. I do have a question just about the choice of color.
That was not intentional. So I wanted to put some color on the surface. The gray form that I made turned out to be too dark.
Definitely is dark and heavy. It's kind of one of the first things that we noticed.
Thank you for sharing. We have an incredibly difficult decision to make now. Please excuse us while we discuss your work.
No, there's no point in trying to do anything extra.
Neither shaking, shredding, which one of those is going to be thinking most likely is me. Yeah.
Andrew.
Not too long ago, there were 10 of you. Now, there are 3.
You said hello.
Achievement. And at stake, a $60,000 prize package that includes an artist residency at the world-renowned Corning Museum of Glass. You all had a very tough challenge. However, one of you has created a distinctly well-crafted piece of glass art. Today's best in blow is Deborah. Being in the final 2 was very affirming. This competition has shown me I shouldn't doubt myself. I can do it. So always like, do Deborah. Don't try to do somebody else. Just keep doing Deborah. Deborah, you have earned a place in the finale. Thank you, Nick. This is the last elimination before the finale. Unfortunately, one of you must leave the hot shot. While it was an intensely difficult decision, one of you just didn't capture motion how we hoped. The person leaving the hot shot is Alexander.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day.
I feel mostly proud of what I've done.
Unless you go back.
I mean, I'm disappointed, but
It just said that Kirito and Yujiro were actually separated and weren't living in the same dorms. Even though he's constantly climbing in the window, and he even did it just now. When you do after the 4th exam, you'll have to read it and confirm that's what it just said. Because it said,
She's so good. You know, that makes me nervous.
Kirito lost points on sacred arts, so he got bumped down, and then they were separated.
This season on Blown Away, 10 exceptional glassblowers competed in North America's biggest hot tub. They battled the heat, and they battled the clock to be ready for make-or-break gallery showings. The glassblowers who failed to blow us away: Kevin, Benjamin, Edgar,
One by one, we're being eliminated.
Annette, Leo, Momo, Patrick, and Alexander had to put down their punties and leave.
Yujiro just said something about Kirito being good with girls, and he said, "How can I? I'm a lost child of Vecta, and my memory was taken." Yujiro said it's not like being good with girls is a calling, maybe it's my imagination.
I'm Nick Hodge, and we're about to find our Blown Away champion.
That probably is his calling.
Very soon, one of you will become the world's first Blown Away champion. For your final challenge, we want you to create a gallery showing that gives us an immersive experience. We'll be dividing the gallery into 2 halves. You'll have complete freedom to use the space however you like to create the winning exhibition.
Here's a chance for you to blow the doors off of this gallery space with an exhibition that is cohesive and thematic and a clear representation of your artistic goals.
I'd now like to introduce you to the senior manager of the Hot Glass program at the Corning Museum of Glass. He'll also be your final.
I feel like this uniform does not look like the uniform. That's what I thought. It looks exactly the same as the junior, but it's not how it should look.
All with decades of experience helping some of the best glass makers in the world.
Yuji's has his. Kirito's is still the same. I was hoping to get the senior uniform too. All it did was change the stats, I'm sure. Yeah.
We'll be evaluating your work based on your design concept and your overall gallery presentation. And because this is the finale,
Yeah, I even went out and bought armor and made armor, and there was no point to it.
well, we certainly have a lot of planning to do. So what you're seeing here is Deborah's and Yanush's work from the entire competition.
It's really impressive to see all of this again. It makes perfect sense that these are the 2 finalists.
You can already see how different these 2 artists are. Yanush comes in very strong, adds a lot of his family life to his work.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Yanush won this challenge.
He did win the challenge.
That's just a great piece. He's such an excellent technician.
Deborah's work, very creative, likes to think outside the box.
This is beautifully executed. It gives you a feeling the moment you look at it.
Deborah is maybe not quite so technical, but I think has sort of a wider range of the kinds of things that she can make.
Through all of these challenges, Yanush has won 3 times, and Deborah has won 3 times. It's very evenly paired. So here we are, the final title bout.
It's exciting for me to compete against Yanush because I think my idea
And I was surprised Tisa and Ronnie showed back up. Thought it was cool that they did, though.
Intriguing and hopefully has some sort of obvious message in it too. So I want to make a piece about the environment, preservation, and pollution.
It might look like a breakfast scene at first, but it's not.
Chimney smoke that. We're gonna make the smoke come out of them.
It's a cast iron frying pan. Now what's going to go through this? I sausage ranch. There's gonna be a lot of meat in this thing. That'll be a ham.
I've had that happen too in the beginning. I can't remember why.
A huge fried egg coming off the pedestal.
I think it might just be bugs and some bugs in the very beginning that they didn't bother working on or fixing. Because when the game first came out, it was really bugged. That's part of why it got bad reviews.
Well, let's go with another weird red. What's that one? You got my title.
Oh, sorry about that. I don't know how that happened.
So we'll be here working on frying pan. Do you want to pre-make the handle and put it on?
Now it's just down to Deborah and I. I'm nervous because I don't think anyone else could bring it on as much as Deborah's going to bring it on. It's going to be a really intense, tough 8 hours.
The lady I said was gonna win.
Yeah.
When you draw the cartoons, it's just this line with a dot on the end of it, and it reads to everybody as rain. It's really graphic.
How long do you want me to cut it up?
He always seems to be doing the same thing.
I came up with the idea of just pulling clear cane and breaking it and melting the end of it to sort of show the tip of the raindrop.
You need to go longer or narrower with that, Chris? Yeah, I'm going to stay about it. I'll stretch a little bit. Looks good.
How's the egg doing? Can you see the egg?
Once we get this part done, we'll check that out.
Final challenge is to make an ultimate installation of my work.
It's got to be conceptually strong, intellectually multi-layered.
Well, for my final challenge,
New World had a bug where you were able to dupe gold. Right now they got the auction house shut down because it was a week worth of it. So now they're tracking down all the dupe gold and banning it and fixing the economy. They opened up server transfers, then when they did, gold dupe ended up being accessible, so they shut down the server transfers, and it's been a week, so now they've done shut down the auction house and are looking at the logs of where all the dupe gold went and who did it, and are banning everybody and fixing the economy. Yeah, a lot of the level 60 assholes are getting ready to get booted.
And to represent a simple form in glass, you've got to be a good glass blower.
I'm just trying to make this into a perfect cone, like a pyramid, round pyramid.
And the simple ones are the most easily recognizable, so they've got to be right. The most important thing for this installation is going to be the concept, absolutely, but I'm just driven by technique a lot of the time.
you might get an idea that isn't enough. Eggs are sort of a feminized component in my installation, and they have a lot of feminine references. They're sort of soft, the way when they're supposed to be so emotional and soft. But in this case, it becomes this huge dominating force which is going to take over a pedestal. And that references women finally taking the art world by storm. It's important to me to see women working with their hands in places that challenge them
You did?
physically.
Did you try to play the giant, huh? No, mine was a, like, level 20 mushroom. I almost killed.
Because it's at 2,000 degrees all around the glass. You need to heat every component of the glass. Of course, you can keep it warm, but it can't heat it enough to get it moving.
Yeah, I ran from them.
Well, I don't want this. Something goes wrong.
I swore I got that just the first time I played or in the demo, but they must have changed it and boosted these guys to a higher level.
Wouldn't it be a bad thing?
Okay, that didn't work out. Seeing the egg crack, I had to dig deep and be like, we're gonna get this. The clock is really sticking in the back of my head. The internal clock. Tick, 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 tick. I just like, it's driving me crazy. So, Lori, disaster, right?
You should be able to just skip it.
Is there anything worth rescuing? It's necessary to remake that egg because it's essential.
I'm waiting to get into this difficult combat that they keep talking about. Hello, can I help you?
The Earth, it's a major part of the whole concept of the piece. Planet Earth in space is always represented by a blue and green orb. Everyone knows what the Earth looks like. You just have to read as the Earth. The way to do that is to draw a map with that coloured crushed glass, and then we're just going to roll that on the outside of a bubble. So we'll have a blue bubble, and we're going to roll up this green crushed glass to represent the contents of the Earth on the top of it.
It got too big to go back in the boarding hole, so we're redoing it smaller and bigger. You just need to keep moving forward, we don't have much time. I'm working on the frying pan.
You have to design in a simple component. That is going to be a big cast iron frying pan right in your box. I mean, iron, that's very male. In the kitchen for the domain of women, so I'm really gender bending things here.
Now you have to stick a hole in it.
I put about a 3-inch hole in the middle of the pan.
Wow, that was really orifice-like.
And now I feminize my very heady, big, masculine cast iron pan.
I'm thinking the sun now is just going to be a flattened sphere. Be like a big donut, kind of. Just see them way behind Deborah here. She's doing good.
So let's say. Hey, Jeff. Hold it down, ready? I'm ready for you. Here we go. Let me get these gloves. Okay. All right, back to here. Pedal hard on the top. Press hard. Okay. Can I use one of the core?
Sorry, I'm using both.
Manish and I are artistically very, very different. I would consider myself intuitive. I think his approach is more mechanical.
You alright, Deborah?
Can I use them?
Deborah being my opponent is a very strong, mature artist.
My hand is burning.
She's out here to win.
How many fingers on my right hand? Oh.
You know, that makes me nervous.
And automatically.
Okay, everybody, get under it. Okay, ready? Here it comes. Got it? Get through the wheel door. Get it in there.
I was so happy when I saw this can. I used this in the competition, and I got it.
Weasel's trying to make some money, babe. She's taking a shower on the camera.
Now all you need is an OnlyFans.
Huh?
Now all you need is an OnlyFans.
Get anything done in time. Even with the extra help in this challenge, it's going to come down to the last second because there's so many elements to it.
I want to get the colors right because I want to be meat-based but seductive. I don't want to be grotesque. I've researched a lot what the newly slaughtered meat looks like versus older meat and fried meat and a drying thaw meat versus a fresh one. Some colors are more rotting, shall we say. The wrong colors would change my concept.
You get to this point, you just try to do as quick as you can. I think we're way behind Deborah.
I haven't won much in my life. I have to work hard for everything I get. I've been mowing grass for 30 years. When I started, it was kind of an old boys' school. I think the times have changed a little, but there's still a struggle to be equal. I've seen younger women not getting as many jobs as men.
To me, it's almost a political act to occupy the top of a fierce female glass blower, cutting off now, and be a role model for other women.
I think in life I've helped a lot of people with their careers. I've inspired other people. But I haven't taken the trophy yet for myself.
I've seen a lot of people
Why you say that?
like me really struggle. And, well, it was said to me a couple of years ago that I didn't have a career. And, you know, I spent my whole life.
Andrew. I've got a headache too. Andrew was sick today.
And what I achieved? Nothing. and what I haven't achieved, and then having my boy and sing, there's a lot more consequence to everything around me. If I win the competition, it would be a little easier if my career was stronger, and I absorb more work.
Hey everybody, we've got 15 minutes left! Thank you.
And then we just focus on 90%.
So the gallery can be split in two, and I get the left side a little higher.
You get half the gallery. Also, you've got to fill the space as much as you can.
I need to activate the space. It's not just fill it. I mean, people have brains. Their eyes can move around the space. I don't need to dominate the space with stuff.
These pieces are to show the direction of the energy goes in. Some beams are going to go vertical, the water is perpendicular, the air is horizontal.
I think it's going to be a big old cacophony over there. He was making a lot of pieces. I don't know what he made exactly. I'm not seriously.
Like anybody can make a little sphere, but frying pan? No.
It's glass one competition, and the material you're using is glass. Ultimately, I think if you use glass, then it should be obvious, or at least there should be a hint of it. Might as well made out of ceramics, or plastic, or steel.
This is actually so amazing.
I'm trying not to let the little devil in my picking Deborah's work apart.
Visual weight's off. I definitely want to swap the meat. Hand goes back, the box comes up, same height.
It's a little busy. Let's take some rain out.
Beautiful. I can hold my head proud.
Unlike anything I've ever done in my life before.
To me, this is a win, no matter what happens in this desert.
So keep my fingers crossed now.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
先輩が僕を選んでくれた理由、僕はゴルゴロッソ先輩と同じように上を狙って必死にあがくやつだと思ったからだって。
My piece is all about the environment, and my concern is really about the future. I'm very happy with what I've done.
If I don't win this, like, I don't know what I could have done better.
Wow. Look at the pan. Yeah, that is beautifully done. I am so impressed with just the string of positives. I mean, the hand starts to get a little cartoony, but that just kind of adds a little bit to the humor. I really believe that this is a great combination of all the issues that she's bringing to a look throughout this whole competition. Talking about being a woman in a hot shop, a lot of that is even just encountering one piece, this A, sign of female fertility, even just kind of spilling over into this pedestal. Just slathering her feminism all over it. I love it.
Having worked in a hot shop for 25 years, I can definitely say that it is a male-dominated space. But I can't really say that I've ever felt that personally. See, I'm a man, and I see these things which are beautifully crafted, but they're kind of threatening. The iron pan and big hunks of meat, and then you see this egg. It really does help me understand a little bit better what Deborah must feel walking into those hot shops.
So is Deborah the egg?
In my interpretation, she is.
She's the egg.
Yeah.
I love the egg. So Deborah, half the gallery. Let's look at you. Oh my God, lots of glass. You really use it.
And I admire that. I mean, it really creates an environment.
Maybe a little less kind of interaction. I feel like even more like station, but it's still a sort of a path that we do kind of work. Oh, that's kind of great.
A planet and it's precious. I'd love to see it presented in this way.
I feel like this piece operates the same way as the egg does in Deborah.
I'll be right back.
Sort of the key to everything else that's going on.
I'm reading this as water and wind.
These are raindrops. This is a really beautiful element. You know, you knew something amazing crafted through all the challenges. Everything here is beautifully made, and there's a kind of a nice range of things.
I really want to hear from them.
The competition goes so like all this effort and all this time. I only wanted to see the win.
I feel positive. I am in love with my piece, but I don't want to be like, I'm going to win it. Because anything can happen.
For your final challenge, we ask each of you to take over one half of the gallery and create a winning exhibition. And both of you have truly blown us away. Larry does not make big decisions.
Very easy. You know, we walked in today wanting to see an immersive experience, and you guys really got it.
You did. Please tell us about your half of the gallery.
I titled it Hope.
But I guess the reality of it is it's kind of critical here. These represent Earth and the close for protection. Alternative sources of energy, sun, wind, and water. We have the past behind that where we just burn fossil fuels. But the idea is that we have the future ahead of us and we have the past that we can learn from.
As usual, the activity May is really impressed too. It's just kind of the range of elements.
Deborah, please tell us about your happy hour.
I used the space efficiently. I didn't try to fill it. So the egg, typically a female-oriented object, is on top of a pedestal. So here the female form is dominating the whole sort of industry of art. The pen is essential. Here you can see I'm gender bending it by putting a hole in the center. I'm going into this concept of gender and otherness, and there's just not one way that an object can be. There's a binary, masculine and feminine, but there's all this in between. The piece essentially is, it's me. It's how I see myself in the world.
Your voice has been heard, and especially as another female glassmaker, I feel like I deal with some of the same issues, if not all the same issues, and so it's been really heartening to see somebody really bring those to the fore.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Please exit the hot shops while we deliberate one last time.
It's gorgeous moment. Every possibility brings to my head.
I would say straight out that your niece is probably the best glass bowler that we've had in the competition in terms of the technical expertise.
I really do think that Deborah's art is Deborah, her work is her, and that's admirable.
One is a perfect technician. The other really has a good concept.
Both consultants are so passionate about what they do.
Take the one that you already used.
In the heart of the business and for decisions, you have to come to a decision. You can only be one.
It's interesting to want something so much and then feel like within 10 seconds it could be taken away.
We have two truly gifted glass blowers in front of us. However, there can only be one winner. At stake, a $60,000 prize package that includes an artist residency at the world-renowned Corning Museum of Glass.
At the Corning Museum of Glass, you'll have unlimited access to all the resources that can make you successful, a wonderful studio. We want to help you make your mark internationally as a glass artist.
Deborah, it's always been very exciting to see your work. It's strikingly creative and always generates discussion, which is exactly what great artwork can do. You take risks, you show true ownership in hot shots. You've always put yourself in the competition and it shows in your final work. After a lot of discussion, we've come to a decision. Our very first one-way champion is Deborah. Congratulations.
Me? You say me?
Immediately, of course. I did my best, and the judges saw something in Deborah's work that they didn't see in mine, so that's it.
I'm so thankful. And we were able to this opportunity to move forward in my career. You need support in order to be an artist. This win is a big support. So meaningful to me. Life is filled with so many ups and downs, and this is a big up.
Some people call me arrogant, and some people call me daredevil. I think so.
I'm representing all the women that have the top and don't often get all the opportunities to show them.
I'm Elliot Walker. I've been blowing glass for 12 years. I'm the random British guy. It's very important for me to represent the UK.
I have faced challenges in my life, but I've paid my dues. I'm here now because I worked hard to be here.
I'm Tegan. I am from Australia. I am a personal trainer at the moment. Glass training is to make my art. just my art and
My art.
my
I'm not here to brag. I'm here to go around.
I'm very much an artist. And I contemplate a second home.
I never went to school for glass. I want to be here and I need to be here. I mean, there's really no difference.
My name is Mal. Glass makes me happy.
Alright.
I'm known for playing more teams. I'm the wild card, the underdog.
Welcome to the hot tub.
I don't know. It just says physical.
Hundreds upon hundreds of glass blowers from around the globe.
I don't know. I haven't really messed with any of that. There hasn't been a point to it yet.
Congratulate yourself. But look around. There are 9 other artists who are standing in the way of becoming blown away champions.
You silent killer. No one knows what I'm capable of.
The prize is life-changing. The bragging rights, the spotlight, the international stage, and a package worth $60,000.
I make pennies every year. I've never even owned $60,000.
Included in that is a residency at one of the most respected glass institutions in the world.
I like how they say a prize package worth $60,000.
I might
People
win
think
this.
they're
I might get
winning
this prize.
$60,000, but they say that the prize includes a
So what's the score for
residency
you?
at the school
10-time
and a
challenge.
residency at the school probably costs at least $30,000.
Right.
That blows us away.
So they're probably only walking away with like
Let us
50
leave
cash.
the hot tub. Each and every time we also impress our resident evaluator, Catherine Gray.
I mean, it's still pretty awesome.
Catherine Gray is a celebrated glass artist, as well as an influential curator and educator.
Catherine's a badass. Don't look dead.
She has this virtuosic skill. She's an icon.
During this competition, you're going to get hot, tired, frustrated, glass will shatter, and so will some of your dreams.
I sacrificed so much, you know, I sacrificed relationships just to do this craft. All I've wanted.
We have all the equipment you'll need. Furnaces to collect molten glass, blow pipes for inflating glass, and plenty of tools to cut, shape, and twist. Personal glory holes to keep the glass hot, and annealers to slowly cool the glass to prevent cracking. For every challenge, we'll bring in a special guest evaluator. Today, that person is Alexander Rosenberg. Alexander is a passionate artist and glass art instructor, but more importantly, last season, he was standing exactly where you are.
Alexander was my favourite person from the last series. It's like seeing a celebrity, isn't it?
I'll take the credit for it. Alex was one of my previous students.
I know firsthand what you're going through right now. This competition is going to challenge you in ways that you've never thought possible.
For your first challenge, we've mounted mirrors in your workspaces. We want you to use these mirrors to express not how the world sees you, but how you see yourself.
Only you know what lies beneath that surface. The quirks, the insecurities, the experiences that have made you who we see here today.
We want to get to know you, the real you. So my advice is to create something deeply personal.
You have 5 hours to design, create, and present an original piece of glass art. You'll be judged on concept, creativity, and your technical skills. Your time for self-reflection starts now.
Hey, this is going to be interesting.
Who am I? Ask the question today. Tough question to answer.
When I look at my reflection, I see the light and the darkness combined.
I see a person who's put a lot of time and effort to be exactly what I'm at.
I'm thinking about amorphic shapes that are flowing, which I think represent my change in growth and wisdom.
Spiral's going to be my main form, trying to translate that as my emotion. I'm going to be making a series of soft sort of organ forms representing the transcendence of the mind from the body.
It's a solid scope, David, holding a cushion mat. That's all my love.
So I've got these two figures, one is what I want to be and one is what I used to be. There's this bubble and I don't know if it's keeping things out or keeping things in.
Those are my mates. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna sing and make this.
Do it.
Grass color.
Okay, right.
Say it again.
I need colors, and there are 10 people elbowing each other trying to get what we need.
I'm a little overwhelmed.
I know, I wish it would have been a cool boss fight.
I'm hoping not to blow it.
For the first challenge, you really have to push yourself. There's no point staying safe.
It might work. Might look like a dog turd. But it might just be brilliant. And get it hot.
So you have one shot and that's it.
Alligator, how does it feel to be back in the blown away hot shop? This is a totally surreal experience to be on the other side of it. All of the activity in the shop, all the different stuff going on, and to know
God,
certainty and kind of
where are you even leaping from? He just,
I'm glad that I'm down there.
he's pissing me off. He just comes flying and thumping down on my head or my shoulder or wherever the freak he feels like it.
It is a big risk to show that.
And now look.
And sincerity and put that forth as one word. You're really putting yourself out there. When that gets shot down, that's like
The mustache.
you got shot down. Exactly. But I think this first challenge really kind of sets the tone.
And people start to get a sense of
My desk is at the bottom of the steps now, so that pole, he just leaps from it.
Who here has the most experience? And he doesn't have very good experience.
Huh.
He doesn't have very good skills.
No, he doesn't. He's not like landing. His landing sucks too. He's not landing on his paws, like he just belly flops on me. Legitimately just belly flops on my head.
What an honor to be against Brazil.
Sure, in this stream alone, it's happened like 15 times. He can't land for shit. Like, he never lands on his paws. He just belly flops on me.
My piece is about the idea of a kind of loss. What is left after blast is taken away.
It's like a drink ring. Something that you would have left over after a glass comes off the table.
I would hate to ever stop going blast. It's almost the longest relationship I've ever had.
So hard. Stop. Like, he's been working with assistants.
these are assistants in Sheridan College. They have to develop a rapport pretty quickly and figure out how to work with each other as well as possible to realize their ideas.
Clean up that problem. Now you can turn it.
I am one of the ones you might work with. I'm going to start frustrating. Go crazy. I know that I have the least amount of experience. I'm going to come out all guns blazing. If I do it right, I'm going to scare everyone. And if I do it wrong, I'll go home. Box blowing is so much fun. When I heard the challenge, I instantly came back. I kind of love my last not letting people in. Does kitty cat represent an emotional vulnerability?
This is the first time we brought in international artists.
Yeah, we from Japan, Elliot and British, Keegan is from Australia.
To be representing Canada, you know, that means a lot.
All of those countries have vital black communities and they've got to do them proud.
I don't want to have to go back and apologize to everyone. I'm sorry. Sorry, Canada.
Might be a little bigger than I planned.
I think my outfit just changed to how it should be.
I'm intimidated going into a North American country. Perfect. The UK glass scene is very tight, very small. The level of skill and equipment that you have in North America, we don't have that.
Yeah, it's about reciting the poem.
Just past the picnic. The picnic. You did light play?
fluff. But that is so cool.
Does it seem like it's skipping anything?
A lot of things to make. Okie dokie. Probably got a really garish.
Well, actually, there's been like 2 or 3 points
I make this flower in a bowl of glass shards around the bright flower is the 3 times and the glass shard is the shell that I broke through to get to where I am.
Probably just the dialogue bug thing.
No, it's still doing the dialogue.
Weird. I don't know.
Catherine, what are they doing on the floor when they're stretching glass?
So that's just a technique for pulling cane. Those long strands of glass are called cane. Those typically get cut up into shorter lengths.
It psyched me out. It was like cinematic crap until you get to the academy, and then the other shit pops back up with a vengeance.
Big marini, you have to chop up cane into tiny pieces. And just heat it up and smush it all together. You roll the bubble and it goes all over the surface of the glass. It's really time-consuming stuff. 5 hours, that's the challenge right there.
I really love blowing glass. As a black man working in the field, people who see me in the hot shops know that it's possible, and that's really empowering to me.
So right now I'm making some mezza filigrana. Mezza filigrana are canes rolled up on a bubble and then twisted to create a spiral.
I'm making a calabash board. It's a vessel, it's native to Africa, and it's used as a ritual object. I think it's a good representation of who I am.
I feel pretty optimistic about it.
Seriously, I mean, look.
I don't have any music to listen to, so I have music in my head.
Alright, even if they said the problem with it is like the very much bottom floor of Minecraft is bigger than the biggest Assassin's Creed, and that's just one floor. But it's like, why can't you just like make it a live service game, come out with like 10 pretty big size floors, and then work on every certain amount of time you add a big floor. And part of the game is you have to gear to be able to face the boss, but not only that, you have to legitimately find it, like it said. Right. Wait, what?
Being an artist is not.
I think I missed something.
So, I'm from New York. I talk fast. I work fast. I have
Well, because you run into Medina right there, I think.
like making glasses. It's really beautiful.
Can you tell me a little bit about your concept?
Yeah, like we're also spirits in transition. So I wanted to represent that with forms that are also evolving and morphing.
Where's you in that?
I don't feel like it's hard to define myself.
Maybe they aren't like disciples. Maybe the wording was just a little jacked. Okay, yeah, no. You just said we're honored the service pages to you. Yeah, that's why I was saying there's still pages in War. That's why I didn't know if time passed in this and it was switching up.
walk through the shards to get to the flower, and the journey I'm trying to represent. Good luck.
I just think they had it worded weird, the translation. I don't know if you noticed, but if you hit start, you can straight skip the whole thing. Whatever it's doing. Like the chat shit.
I'm clenching my teeth, trying to breathe through all of these. You're tired and you'd like to take 5 minutes, but you have to keep going.
I honestly don't have a good feeling about this. It makes things kind of big. Bigger the bubble getting.
L1 just skips to the next person talking.
Keep going like that.
Disappointing. Bad things happen sometimes. It's part of making glass. I'm gonna save what I can. I have to at least try to get this piece done.
There's only 30 minutes left, everyone! What? Ah, yeah. Start thinking about getting your teeth to the dealer.
I have to get my spiral finished. Turn, rotate. I tried to spin my spiral, but the glasses wouldn't cooperate. I bit off more than I could chew. I'm feeling pretty bad, but you gotta be resilient. You know, you don't want to give up. So I'm dipping up again, and I'm trying it with a little less glass this time.
I am exhausted, I'm nauseous, and I'm running out of time. It's okay, work comes to work and stick this stuff on. I know that I'm not going to be able to finish the piece like I wanted it to finish. I can see the arms and ears. I'm just going to suck it on. Screw it. 10 minutes left. You only have 10 minutes.
One more left.
You're in the middle of it.
Straight.
I think we're done.
Definitely at the Rias and Humbart part.
Hold. Get under it.
Might keep popping up.
Sorry.
Number 3 and the other 3. Fine.
Huh?
Nice.
It's a duel between Yu-Gi-Oh and Humbert. That's where I'm at.
The challenge today is to look beyond the mirror and dive deep within ourselves.
I hope the idea behind it will show quite strongly.
I'm being ambitious.
My piece is a good introduction to me. I'm going to always innovate.
When I look in the mirror, what I see is the journey that I took. I see myself as a soul that's in transition.
I'm laying it all out for you. It's kind of my ugly side.
Even though it didn't work out exactly as I wanted, I still believe in the piece. I spent a lot of time on self-reflection. I'm always pushing myself to be an inspiring person. I'm really proud of my concept. I believe that I know it.
I do have my flaws, just like my glass face.
Alright, here we are, all 10 pieces. They've each provided us artist statements. That's going to give us some insight into what they want us to see. Alright, let's start with novelty. Over the shards of old selves and old beliefs, I see myself flourishing brighter than ever.
I like the flower. I think it's a nice contrast to the sharp edges of the glass.
It speaks to me of this quality of softness with resilience. Maybe like kindness that could come off as weakness.
I think it works pretty well.
So this is Brad's piece.
He was working on a really large piece that hit the floor. This is a good save.
knowing Brad's other work, he is an exquisite and precise craftsman. I think for him putting broken glass on a pedestal is a huge risk and departure from the work that he does.
So this is Ben's piece. The sphere represents me, and the spiral represents an understanding that I may never be fully complete or done growing.
I can see a lot of trauma that shows the struggle that he went through making this piece.
What'd you say?
It's a little rough up at the top here, which is a little unfortunate. The spiral wrap around here, I'm not totally sure I sense how they work together. Maybe if the spiral was larger, it would have made a little bit more sense with this artist statement.
This is Annie's piece.
I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised, but I'm not totally sure I've seen her in here.
Do you think Andy just made what she wanted to and then tried to make it fit the brief?
I feel like there's some shoehorning going on there. Yeah, definitely.
This is Jason's piece.
The technique is there. It's maybe not the most risky piece. I really like it. I don't know if I love it.
There's something interesting conceptually happening about a black body as an object of spectacle.
That probably reflects his experience as a black glassblower.
Yeah.
I have a taste of that being a female glassblower, that you realize that you are in the minority in this field.
This is called Say No to Slugs.
I'm not loving the piece. The aesthetic is very cartoony or video game-ish.
Knowing Solo's other work, this definitely kind of sticks in mind with what I've seen him do a lot before.
Is he taking a risk? Is he getting outside of flame working?
I would say not, no. I would hope, if he stays in a competition, that he really diversifies what we see from him.
Yeah, I gotta say, I wanted more from him.
Alright, so this is Elliot. I know you guys are the pros, but I think this is awesome looking. This is something that I would want in my house.
I'm impressed with the scale and the sheer quantity of stuff that he made. It certainly shows a lot of ambition.
Did he come out swinging?
I think he did. It looks like he had something to prove here, and I think he's kind of done it.
This is Chris Taylor.
The part that's the most compelling to me is these drink rings. The idea of the absence of something illustrating what used to be there is central to what glass does as an artistic medium. But I think there are certain details that are lacking some refinement.
Like the lid.
Yeah.
For how precise everything is, I thought the lid would fit a little more precisely. It should sit on this ring. It's very, very close.
No Alexander Rosenberg, that's for sure. So this is Keegan's piece?
Is that the guy from the first season? I thought it was, but
that I actually think are interesting, or that kind of add something to the piece, but
wasn't sure until he said something about the lid.
The last one is being able to deal with when things go wrong and trying to make something of it. She could have responded to what she had rather than really try to like pretend that everything was fine.
This is Pat's piece. I've never seen glass like this.
I really love the effect of the marini. It's a really complicated, time-consuming process.
As a competitor, on your first challenge, would you have ever done this technique?
Seems like his outfit looks one way in some of the scenes, but then you play him and it goes back to a different outfit.
It paid off in a lot of ways.
Alright, let's go here for the glass.
I'm salty, I want the uniform.
I am confident. I think I could be the first to blow away the evaluators.
I'm really excited to be judged by Catherine. I think that she is
Makes me wonder how much your uniform will actually change, or their armor sets will actually be.
Andy, could you tell us more about your piece?
I feel like my
I wonder how many armor sets will actually have, or visual change will actually be.
I have a little trouble seeing you as a person in your piece.
Cause I don't like,
staring myself. The imperfections reveal my
they don't,
that's actually not a bad quality.
it doesn't change at all on this show. It's just worse uniform out of all of them, I would say.
I describe my work as the idea of presence and absence. The drink rings being what's not there, as important as the object itself that is there.
Were you happy with the final object, the feature, the fit of the lid?
Overall, considering it was the first show in itself, I feel pretty good about it.
Ben,
How did you to it? I'd like to start off by saying the overall structure of my piece did not go as planned.
Do you feel like you
I just shot Yu-Gi-Oh with the fireball.
Well, hindsight's always 20/20. I took a big risk with what I was trying to accomplish. Unfortunately, the construction just wasn't there. Thank you, artists. Please give us a few moments to discuss.
High-level enemies don't go that way.
I'm terrified I'm going to be the first to be voted off.
I'm so disappointed that I was supposed to take this my time.
I'm nervous. I hope this piece doesn't send me home. We appreciate you waiting. You should all be very proud of yourselves. But for this first challenge, there is one of you whose technical abilities and creative skill stood out among the rest. Today's best in glow is Elliot.
What the hell? Where'd he go?
Winning the first challenge is a big thing.
Thank you very much. You're one step closer to the $60,000 prize package that includes a residency at the Horny Museum of Glass.
I think there's a target on my back.
Well, I'm not surprised, And now, for the bad news. The person whose piece did not blow us away is... Keegan. Please say your goodbyes to Lisa Hoptow.
I'm really disappointed in myself. I made a self-copy. Like, yes, I know that I was at a glass lower than I should. I don't think that I got to say everything that I wanted to say, but I'm just going to keep making glass.
For the rest of you, you've earned your place here in the hot shop, so you have to keep fighting to stay here.
As soon as one person goes, it just becomes real that it could be you at any point.
See you at the next challenge.
Oh my god, I want to do this again.
Good morning, glass blowers, and welcome back to the hot shop.
This feels like home. I like it here.
Having finished so strongly on this last challenge, I feel really confident going into the next one.
I want redemption. I know I could do better than the first challenge, and I want to prove myself. There are 9 of you left, and there just so happens to be 9 boxes up here. So come on up and grab one. Now, don't open your boxes just yet.
Oh my god, my heart is pumping like crazy.
In addition to our resident evaluator, Patrick Gray,
Oh,
to our guest evaluator,
glass blowing contest.
not only is Benjamin the artistic director of the prestigious Hillshot Glass School, he's also an award-winning artist in his own right.
I love Ben Wright because he makes glass installations in a completely different way than most, so I value his opinion.
Benjamin Wright was one of my students back at Rhode Island School.
Alright.
I'm really regretting the grade I gave him.
As artists, we're all used to thinking outside the box. But today, things are going to be a little bit different.
In this challenge, you'll each be tasked with creating a different functional household item. Want to find out what you'll be making? Yeah. Go ahead and open up your boxes.
Sure. This is a candle. I don't do a candle.
Candy dish with lid.
I got a cookie jar. Yes, vessel making is my jam.
Flower.
Chick stand.
Candelabra. It's gonna be tricky, but I'm not freaking out.
この辺りで少し休んでいこうか。
ああ、そうだな。それより今回は無事に獣を倒せたな。ロニエとテイゼもよく動けていたと思う。
本当ですか？
ああ、2人だけでもやれたんじゃないか。
さすがにそれは無理ですよ。
そういえば出発の前に聞いてほしい話があるって言っていなかった？
そうでした。ユージオ先輩、キリト先輩、実はお二人に一つお願いがあるんです。
お願い？何かな？
大変申し上げにくいことなんですが、ずっと前にユージオ先輩がおっしゃっていた指導生の変更申請に関して学園管理部にお口添えいただきたく。
それは僕のそば好きをやめたいということ？それともキリトも、もしかして両方？
違います。私たちじゃないです。お二人のそば好きは変更をお願いしたいのは真面目で、実はフレニーカを特にここ数日ちょっとした粗相に学院内では少々不適切。
あいつユージオ
返り討ちになんかしてないよ。結果は
つまり腹いせ。そう、それです。屈辱的な御用をお命じになる私には、私のお父様は言ってました。貴族である。そしていつか戦が起きたジーゼック家は4区に大きな屋敷を構えてならば、ジーゼック上級衆たとえ近畿目録に記された常に考えねばならない。ジーゼック上級集権士殿の行うフレニーカは昨夜
素晴らしいお父さんだな。いくら上級集権士でも。
はい、それはいや、
それ以上言わなくても、確かそば好き初等連士の指名を
誰かでウンベール。
私、近畿目録には書いて法をただ守るんじゃ従うよりも。
そのと考えることを定められた法にさ、そろそろも。
はい。
とはい
え、しかしウンベールはともかくライオス、そんなライオスがウンベール正式な懲罰はなくても悪い噂く自尊心の塊みたいなあいつな
ら、ライオスにもお手上げなくらいその原因が僕との立ち会いな
ら。だからさ、もしかしたらこれは
まさかそんなことはありえないだろう。それでも聞き入れないようなら。よし、まずは僕が喋るからね。
任せろ。
それじゃあ、ユージオ集権士とキリト集。
事前に伺いも立てず押しかけるとはよいよい。ライオスとのご厚情に感謝する。そう我が手の友情集権士には観測部の有効にどのように。
I like how you're making me sweat.
The energy is different today. I think for the first day dinner, it's a little less kind of
have a scene of total chaos, but each pocket is really very calm.
Yeah.
Nobody's really freaking out. Not yet. We'll see. Nice and calm. But this community is just very stressful. Really hard building up a rapport each time you go in with a new assistant. Oh. There we go. It's just a bit of it's a trial, you know. Mostly because I don't know if I got some Bethany with me, who's my assistant as well.
she's the reason I'm here. She's convinced me to apply, and she's always pushing me forward. She's writing for muse as well for me. My sisters have to deal with a lot of crap from me. I feel quite contradictory a lot of the time.
Alright, matey, a bit on this. Just a small one to make it a barrier, then we'll punch. Oh no, we're punching it. Yeah, we're punching it. Just a punch over there, Iron. Punch over there, Iron. Go a little bit.
Trying to get the grip right on the edge, so it looks like a blow through. So my rondo, like so far, the color is great, it's all even, it's exactly how I want it. It's better than I imagined, and I'm in love with it. Alright everyone, this is your last hour. You have 1 hour left. Yay! Sorry, baby. That was perfect. But I'm just gonna start making cuts so I can take my mind off of this from the rondo. I'm kicking though.
This little stuff needs a lot of attention, back and forth, so the struggle is the timing. I don't think that I'm everybody's favorite. Man, no! Mine. I'm not allowed to help you. That's right. People think that I'm arrogant, but I don't want acceptance from the other competitors. I'm very happy to provoke them.
Okay. Oh, hi, Catherine.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing good. This is my unique approach to a base.
Oh, okay, okay.
I've been making a mountain plus a charred leaf tree element. I once got to see Pino Signoretto make a tree.
I'm guessing this is where the game's about to pick up.
Pino Signoretto is my favorite glass sculptor. So I'm going to be making the tree component.
About to get arrested, I'm sure, because I'm about to fight Humbert and Reyes.
Yes. Props to Pino. Rest in peace.
Good luck. How's it going today, Jason?
Well, I'm making a cookie jar in some pastel colors. Isn't really my palette, but I think they're really beautiful colors.
Yeah.
And they're soft as butter, so they're really easy to work with.
Nice to have buttery colors for like buttery cookies.
I definitely have a sweet tooth. I enjoy baking. One of my favorite things to do, if I'm trying to be nice, is make sure there's some cookies when my partner comes home.
Just a little thinning that goes on top.
Well, good luck. Can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Okay.
With the finial, I'm looking for symmetry, and I'll make it until I get it right.
We'll make one more of these. I'm not super happy with the twist.
That's where the cookie crumbles.
I say what we'll do, if you can find a blank page of the flip cookie, put it on the floor.
Measure your vessel that you want to lid. You can mess about with the little claw calipers that sometimes are a bit cold, and you can touch the piece and can crack it. So the paper technique is absolutely fantastic.
This is the measure we're going to use to get the lid.
Burning the profile of the piece into the paper gives you an exact reference of measuring the opening of the vessel.
Wet on it.
Right now I'm trying to make the lid for my cake plate.
A lot of times I go big by accident.
Blah, 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 blah. That's all you got.
So this giant bubble is going to be basically cut in half, and that's going to be the lid for the cake pan. I hope.
That's way too hot.
Even though I had to make a base, as a sculptor, I used the torch a lot.
You fat, stupid piece of shit.
I know what my strengths are, and I have to make the best pieces possible. That's the only way to win.
Where the hell am I?
Oh, sorry.
We're kicking it.
Lovely. Okay. My piece is looking fantastic, and everything's going well, and then all of a sudden,
Oh, damn it. Got a little crack.
that is obviously a bad thing. I'm just in shock, really. I'm ready to leave at this point. I can't blow another one of those. Have we got time?
Blackmore, you have 15 minutes left.
Oh, yeah, all right, go on. Okay, go on. Go on.
I'm starting with one of the most important parts, which is the tippy cup lid, and I'm not a sculptor, and the lid needs a lot of sculpture.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm done the shape, I'm done the picture, stuff's in. Last thing I gotta do is the handle. C-press. Hopefully if the glass cools down too much, it's not gonna stick to the glass. You just get one shot. And you get it right, and you don't.
Alright, everyone, time to get the pieces of dealers. Time's running out.
Being in the competition is causing a lot of like stress that I'm not used to.
Don't stop. Even if it gets off center, don't stop.
All I can do is just keep going.
Go. You gotta run. I think we're done.
This is so stressful.
Oh. Flip. Okay, I'm gonna get this trunk set up and then it's time to go.
I'm the slowest one here.
You got 30 seconds.
If I don't finish the piece, I'm in danger of going.
Just knock it off in there.
Woo!
That's how we saw it down to the wire.
The challenge is to make a functional gold item using 3D colors that have been selected for you.
I just wanted to make something undeniably functional, beautiful, and elevated as far as what you think of matters.
I'm not sure if I came out with something great. I'm never satisfied. I always want to do better.
This piece is about representing my personal pathway as a glassmaker and the comparison to climbing the mountain.
I'm happy with the design, I'm happy with the form. I think the evaluators will notice subtle details and considerations.
I really focus on the design of this piece. I hope they can see that I try to create something that is not really common. I think most glass blowers would have tried to go really big. I hope the evaluators don't knock me for staying small.
It was the opportunity that I could take to showcase my kind of humor in an object that could be really funny and really sophisticated at once.
So anytime that you're working very thin and very precise, there's a zero margin for error. I think the evaluators will give me points for trying difficult techniques.
Well, this is certainly one of our more colorful galleries.
It looks like people really love this challenge.
So this piece is called Blue Moon by Now.
When I have a vision of a candelabra in my head, this doesn't enter the picture, so it's truly original take on that form.
And this kind of has like sort of options of which is the front, which is the back. I dig it. Yeah.
This is Dan's kickstand. He created the lid. You could have just gone with just this.
I come up with a bullet points that he took this extra step, but the connecting is a little bit nicer. This cut edge is really rough.
This is Chris's dignity goblet.
It's also the sippy cup, but it's like a wine glass. I mean, this sippy cup top is amazing. I actually just thought it was like a plastic sippy cup top.
His art practice about trickery and
The teamwork on here is very thin lines. You did a really beautiful job there.
This is that nesting bowl. The visual is awesome. This looks like a trippy cactus. And like, it's just so cool.
it was kind of an unusual technique, but I actually like the looseness of it and the way that it plays down the pile.
This is Mike Shova's old gold mountain. The texture is really cool.
The texture is very cool.
The tree of soul shard foliage technique is inspired by that sculptor black Maestro Pino Signoretto.
I mean, there's some good things about this, but I feel like Pino's gotta be
Machine is great a little bit.
I'm not sure I would interpret this as a tree.
I think the colors don't help, but I feel like he wanted to make this. It didn't really matter what colors.
This is Andy's modular platter set with a nod to 70s Danish modern design.
I like it. There's something really nice about the fluidity of that design, but this to me is like a major oversight. You ran out of time and didn't have enough time to make another one.
I think this design would really start to sing when you actually start displaying food on it because it has a really nice topography.
So this is Brad's picture.
You've got this half round of solid glass, kind of mirrored, and the base and the picture, which is a really nice touch.
He's done a really gentle fade. I think that's just a really nice design. But the small handle low on the picture, functionally, I would say that might be a drawback.
Jason's Venetian-inspired cookie jar.
Tricky little element.
All of the joints are really beautifully executed. It's a nicely designed piece of glass.
This is Elliot's candy dish, and the title of the work is What's Your Poison?
You know, I think this is really great. I love the humor in it. Kind of one-stop shopping for the things that are going to kill you right here.
I also just noticed he used the same color combination for the cigarette as for the candy.
Well, he didn't have any choice.
He didn't.
I feel like he really rose to the challenge on this, both in the use of the color.
I guess you don't fight Humbert because both of their arms are gone and I still haven't fought. So I guess.
I'm not comfortable being middle of the pack.
I'm gonna go all the way. I'm very competitive, so I gotta be the one winning. I'm not scared of anything in this competition. This is my world.
As we look at the gallery, we see a lot of really innovative responses to the prompts. Many of you put your own voice into that. That's really what we're looking for. Brad, when I saw you putting that handle on in the hot shop, I was like, that's a big picture. There's a tiny handle on the, but what is he doing?
That little handle isn't actually a mistake. It's actually there to influence the behavior in which it's used. So the two hands used with sort of reverence and respect for the object, you know, the water within it, and the person you're sharing it with.
Thanks, Brad. Elliot, tell us about the candy dish you made.
I basically wanted to make a visual joke about how sugar is becoming the new tobacco. You know, tobacco is not as bad for you as sugar.
I think tobacco is still bad for you. Sorry.
Nah, fine. That's been fine. Ben,
And I think from a distance, the cake plate looks pretty enticing. For me personally, it really kind of fell apart on closer inspection, just seeing some of the connections that could have been a little bit more refined.
I think if I had more time, I'd be able to refine it and go back and do things a little differently.
Now,
We appreciated the unusualness of the design. It was not anything any of us have really seen before for a candelabra, so that I think was great.
The actual function, I think it needs a lot of tightening up, but it's a cool object.
I think it's on to an infant.
alright, Chris, our gobble maker.
The teamwork and that filigrana pattern was really exquisitely done, as was the sippy cup.
Yeah, I like that. It's a wonderful piece of glass because it's just absurd in a wonderful way.
Thank you, Orna. Just need a few minutes to discuss.
I'm feeling really nervous. I have so much more to try and prove here.
All I know is, like, I gave my best shot.
This is gonna be hard.
I want to win again.
At the end of this competition is a $60,000 prize package that includes a residency at the world-renowned Corning Museum of Glass. One of you is one step closer to that prize. Today's best and blow goes to... Chris. Woo! Congratulations.
It feels great to have a win under my belt, but I will probably win a few more challenges.
Now, unfortunately, there's one of you that did not blow us away. And that is...
Nick's looking at each of us, and when his eyes are staring into mine, fear.
Ben.
Well, it was a great experience, and I'm super happy I was here, and I wish everybody the best of luck. You know, I kind of came in here thinking, like, I don't need to make friends. I just want to, like, focus and do my thing. But it turned out the other contestants were the best part of it. Cool people, really talented people. I learned a lot from them, and just seeing what they made just in 2 challenges. Good luck, guys. That's what it's all about. It's all about learning.
You are not supposed to be watching your show, Nicole. You are supposed to be going to bed. As of a long time ago. You... When Mommy got back from the store, she knew that.
I'm so excited to be here.
Go ahead and go potty. Yep. It's not my fault that you stayed up way past when... Get up and go potty. Where we can move your stuff upstairs and you can sleep upstairs. 2. We get the 3, it's not coming back, you're staying upstairs.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a nightmare.
The look and personality of your characters and the
I don't care, get up.
That is all up to you. Helping evaluate your work today is Catherine Dirk.
Your butt's gonna be hurting a whole lot more in a minute.
Catherine is an illustrator and animator who has the great pleasure of turning Sir Paul McCartney into a cartoon for the book Hey Branddude. Catherine has created many of her own original characters, too.
Designing an original cartoon character from scratch can be tricky. You always have to think about their appearance, point of view, and message.
4 hours from now, we want to see 8 cartoon characters that are unique, motivated, and memorable. Your finished pieces will be evaluated on how clear your character's point of view is, your technical skill, and your overall presentation. The winner of this challenge will be named Best in Blow. However, the artist that creates the cartoon character that does not blow us away may be singing a different tune when we ask you to leave the hot shot.
I don't get it. It's okay, I have a lot of jokes that I don't get.
Your time starts now.
It's actually kind of fun to try and think of the character and think of this whole backstory. Cool demon, and he actually lives under a enchanted coaster. When no one's looking, he pops up out of the coaster. He's got these dirty orange fingers and yellow eyes. I think this one's going to be all about the eyes.
I love cartoons. I also been told that I am a cartoon.
It's going to be black and white character.
Chapter 1-4.
Like this telescope. He's like a little bit sinister. He represents the sort of Snoopy atmosphere that I feel during the competition.
He's an anti-hero. I gotta make this an original character. I might as well make it look like me.
Yeah, in some of the videos he's wearing a costume that you should be. But in gameplay, he's wearing the wrong one.
Who he really is.
My cartoon is kind of an iceberg man, and he's a superhero because he can help him save the bird forest. Her name is Generosity.
Huh?
And Generosity. And when you're nice to her, her cup fills up. The whole point of it is that you're nice to her along the way.
You're out of your mind they even bother doing that. But they're not supposed to be trackable. Some of them are. Some of them you just have to find the enemies and kill them.
So this will be kind of like the spectators, and the object actually is going to be a broken pencil kind of laying in the pool of...
I did like 1 or 2 and then realized that there's absolutely no point in doing it.
Fun? Is that possible?
At the moment, anyway. Makes me really mad when it goes into a cutscene and he's wearing the costume that I want to be wearing.
So I'll have Coolbit coming in black.
I love this challenge. I would say that I'm still low man on the totem pole. There are like 4 people that are clear front runners as far as technical skill is concerned.
But if I was gonna win one, this is the one I would want to win.
What's the first step in creating a good character?
I would say the first thing you want to think about is the personality of the character, as well as your audience. So you want to think,
And I used a whip skill. I didn't even know I had a whip skill. Oh my goodness. Because I don't have the sword. My weapon is my chain. Remember how he uses it in the after he escapes the dungeon? That's literally your weapon. It's a whip.
Would you say that
sculptors have the advantage in this particular challenge?
I would say they would, especially over people who might be more traditional kind of vessel makers. People like Brad and Jason, maybe even Chris, might find this a little more challenging.
Oh god, that's terrible. I don't sculpt. It's like not something I do.
I don't have a process for this. I don't know how to make a character.
We'll just figure it out as we go.
So
So like,
stupid.
oh man, I wish that was the idea.
I'll just play as Yu-Gi-Oh! He's wearing that costume.
Keep on a vacuum, because all vacuum has keys. My design is an angry French vacuum. If I was a superhero, well, my dog is obviously my sidekick, and his nemesis is vacuum.
That is an ambitious thing, making a vacuum cleaner.
Very ambitious.
I'm seeing a lot of really interesting shapes. I think that's kind of my favorite part. Let's get some black on here for the eyes. The vacuum is going to be big, I know it's going to be heavy, and I know that it's going to take a lot of my energy. We're just doing a lot of bit working. Bit work is when you bring additional pieces of hot glass. Perfect. I have my shears. I'm running bits up the bubble, so I'm just getting them real blobby and running them up. I like making things that are beautiful. I'm definitely girly, and I got a little bit of
I already like the game a lot better. Yeah, just from being in, leaving the, getting arrested, the game already changed up. You can tell you're leaving tutorial mode.
Okay. Stop. Perfect. 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 So we're making colored pencils. This is the kind of wood part of the colored pencil. I've got the lead part right here, and we're gonna wrap this around that.
I don't necessarily pay attention to cartoons, but I like satire. So for this challenge, I'm going to make a representation of the Charlie Hebdo terrorist event in France.
The pencil, I just consider as a vehicle for some political cartooning that can be approachable because it's so colorful.
I knew that I wanted to be the one that brought that seriousness as contrast to what I think.
They're standing in the garden looking at the Integrity Knight, and he looks at Yu-Gi-Oh! And goes, "Hold on, do you see somebody?" But he's like standing right in front of him.
Not my 4K, but we'll make it work somehow.
Oh yeah. We are seeing hands, feet. They look like body parts. How hard is it to make something that looks real but not too fake?
You know, in some ways that's a little bit easier.
I thought I was supposed to find my sword before I fought
You end
him.
up relying on the torch a lot to get some of those finer details.
This is my favorite tool of all time. It was my grandpa's dissection kit tool.
He doesn't get a sword until you get the sword in this the same time as you do in the show.
True magic. It's the only magic left in the world right now.
No, because he has to, the dude works on the wood for an entire year before he can shape it into. All this, and I don't even get to fight him with my sword.
I'm freaking out. I built this one up in my head. Even though it's a cartoon, you know, it's like you can make something blobby and a bit funny that looks like a cartoon, but you know, this has to look really good.
I'm really nervous about the whole thing, and I'm just going into it with like a sense of dread.
That's alright, let's just give it another heat, right?
It's been a bit challenging learning how to sculpt, but
If you never get out of your comfort zone, then you never get any better. You just stay where you're at. I'm not trying to stay where I'm at.
This is my passport to every studio in the world, and I get to show the world what Black hands are capable of.
We're gonna borrow that word from Jason so that we can speak to the deadline on this country area. So much of sculpting relies on its work. If you can't get your glass hot and moving, then you might as well not have started sculpting that day. There we go. Now we're still going.
I just assembled the feet onto my bottom half of the body. Oh! Oh boy.
Somehow the foot falls off or breaks.
Yeah, trying to pick that up. Now it's time for a little surgery.
You know, it's part of being a buskboard. You need to be able to fix mistakes that happen and get through it and make it look like it never happened at all.
The most difficult part of making this piece is managing it. Not letting things get too cold or too hot.
Hey, kill that fan, yeah.
Knowing when to go back in the furnace.
Well, you mastered it by now.
My teeth got cracks on the face. I go ahead and get the meat. And I can't afford that now.
There's only 1 hour to go. You guys have 1 hour left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm deciding to knock it off and assemble everything later. People see this happy, like gooey, jerky now, and that is this idea. But I just accepting myself, like not able to even hot with stuff. It's hard.
That's gonna hurt.
Even if he hangs on outside, you come back from the chair.
I want it to be like a little freaky.
I want the eyes to freak people out a little bit. But getting the proportions of the eyes, it's not going to be easy. And anytime you're trying to make things the same size without using the mold, it's going to be hard. Because all you can do is eyebrows.
I'm pretty happy with these eyes.
How are you feeling after?
Come on, pup.
I feel like I have to do myself and start getting
What?
more sophisticated idea of the work.
What I'm trying to do is try to bring something a little bit more severe in terms of political cartoon to it. And what do you think is a political statement? You know, I think to honor like the great political journalist days. Alright, thanks, Kevin.
I have learned to trust
Down popping.
so the Taylor's full power will probably win a few more times.
This is like the body of my character. It's like a sort of sleuthing character. His head is this telescope, and he wanders around with like a pen and a notepad and writes down all the weird shit that everyone's doing.
You're the character of me?
Yeah.
Mix the note word for is inside there, right?
You're welcome.
You're taking them?
Yeah. My friend.
food right now?
I've got to fit in my stomach because I'm running out of time, and the rat is looking just okay. I still have a leash to make, cockroach to make, bubble helmet to make, and a backpack to make.
Let's just say I'll run the timer out. Out! Stop! Stop! Stop!
This is your 10 minutes footage. There's only 10 minutes left.
Gonna be pushing it. Oh my god, I'm running out of time. Am I gonna get to the hands? The hands are such an important part of this character.
Yes.
Oh my god, I've been so nervous.
I've bitten off more than I can chew with this.
And we may not get a chance to make that bubble. It goes over his head.
It turns out sculpting takes a lot of time.
Time check?
5 minutes left, everyone. Make sure to get your pieces to the dealers.
Oh, God.
Cool.
We're done.
Don't tell again.
There you go. Six. Left side. Perfect.
Third. With 0 seconds left.
The challenge is to make a completely original cartoon character. I took a risk, and I really went for it.
I want to inspire people who are trying to be a better person that you're doing this job. I hope my concept will get through, even though the piece is not perfect.
I hope the evaluators see the original character. I hope they see that I was really excited about this challenge. I feel pretty confident this one. I know what I've brought, but until you see other people's stuff, you don't know how you stack up against it.
Yeah, I was hoping that they see the ambition of the piece, having these separate elements which fit together into a moving character.
I hope the evaluators see the story, because that's what a cartoon is a way to tell a story.
I like the challenge convention. I like to make people think. And I like that there might be some cynicism that I show.
I feel like my piece is really going to stand out. I think this is the best thing I've made so far in the competition.
Welcome to Toontown, population 8.
It's amazing. I'm so impressed by it.
This is now generosity. Gen's superpower activates when her cup is filled with generosity by others, and the flower blooms.
There's such a purity about the idea of a cartoon based on generosity.
Yeah, usually cartoons are beating each other up.
I feel like she took some meat helping something like this, but there is a crack in the front. Yeah.
This is Chris's piece.
I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing amazing fabrication pencil crayons. But I do not see a character here.
I think the idea that there's little drops of blood on the broken pencil is saying the pencil is actually moving. But I agree with you, I don't see a character or personality really coming out.
Did you not get the memo?
I don't think so. This is Elliot's piece, Mr. Noteworthy. I'm floating. Oh, wow.
How hard is it to make moving parts on a glass piece? There's challenges to it for sure, and because you've got one piece that fits inside another, you have to be pretty exact with that measurement.
This is the Asian character. Humans are extinct and nature has reclaimed the ravaged globe.
I don't feel like he does a lot of this kind of sculpting, so I'm sure this is really, really challenging, but I'm just not clear on what the message is. I'm curious how they could differentiate this between Saturday morning cartoon character rat and a post-apocalyptic rat. Wow.
This is Cat's piece. The title is Raccoon, Nemesis to Oliver the dog.
I'm so glad that they made a villain, and as somebody who has a dog, I can really relate to the vacuum cleaner being an evil villain, so I just think it's great.
This is Brad's character, Jakey the Imp.
I really like that you only get a suggestion of the character. Would it be very hard to make eyeballs like this? It is a little tricky to get that kind of pattern in the iris like that. You need some combining there to make that happen.
I am now in the library.
Oh, it looks like it's very outward. That's the I love you symbol in sign language. And so he's like, I love you.
I just feel like maybe the colors should be a little bit brighter and stronger for a hero character.
And these pieces, I love that too, by the way.
Yeah.
This is unique.
I really like this element a lot. I kind of lose interest with this. I feel like this seems much more forced.
Shall we bring the glass blowers in? Good.
This is my redemption challenge. I need this to boost me back up and keep me in the running.
I am the living, breathing cartoon. If there was one that I was like, I can win this, it should be this challenge.
I am always prepared for failure. I don't like it, it's horrible, but you never know what's going to happen.
We asked each of you to create an original cartoon character, and they ran the gamut from humorous to downright witty. When we walked into Toontown, a lot of us were really thrilled by all the color and the expression. Overall, we think you did a great job rising to this challenge. You guys really tuned it up.
Kat? I really like how you were able to get movement into the parts that were inanimate, like the chords and the ride kind of flowing.
Mike,
we thought your piece illustrated some of your prodigious lamp working skills. You know, the growth that is kind of autobiographical maybe took away some of its kind of universal appeal.
I look at it as any person who has a dad bod fighting energy vampires all day, so.
To that I say, that does not look like the butt of a dad bod.
Jason, can you tell us about your piece? I'm imagining a post-apocalyptic world where a rat takes his pet cockroach for a stroll.
I think the whiteness of those rats with the pink fingers and toes almost seemed a little too cheery and happy. The pose seemed a little bit static, and maybe the message could have come through a little bit stronger.
Chris, tell us about what you made. So I took a significantly different approach since mine's the only one without googly eyes on it. The idea was the pencil becoming the symbol between free speech and free press.
But do you feel like you infused your pieces with enough kind of character? I mean, that was part of the brief.
By having an audience of the pencil, I saw that as an idea of solidarity.
But I wonder if there was any way you could push the personality of the characters a little bit further.
I'm not coming here to make anything that was going to be goofy, just so it doesn't do googly eyes.
Thank you, artists. Please give us a few moments to discuss.
Actually explains the Axiom Church a lot better.
I was hoping
How it was built,
might have addressed an idea.
and the administrator, and how she became the bee.
But I think I'm safe. So you never know. You just don't ever know. Honestly, I'm not feeling confident at all about this.
You all did an amazing job. However, there was one artist that we thought chose just the right color, features, and shapes to perfectly express their cartoon character's personality. Today's best in blow is... Kat.
Heck yeah. I didn't win one. This is the only one I needed to win.
And now, the hard part. The artist whose character in message fell flat is... Jason.
Bring it in. What a great experience it's been. I just had the experience of my life. Being in a room full of these amazing artists and then counting myself among them was validating in the most extreme way.
Glass blower, welcome back to the hot shop.
New challenge, new day.
It's another challenge. It's another one. Yes.
It's go time, and I'm ready to rock it.
The United Nations says 2020 is the make or break year for climate change.
As glass blowers, we are painfully aware of the amount of fuel that's used to run the furnaces and glory holes. That's why it's important that each piece we make is meaningful and worth the toll that it takes on the environment.
Using your own personal connection to nature, we want you to create a piece of hot glass art.
Your finished pieces should be an inspiration for people to think about the environment and to make the changes that they can to protect our planet.
Our guest evaluator today is the Executive Director of Pittsburgh Glass Center, Heather McAway. Heather's passion for nature and dedication for change can be seen in the strides Pittsburgh is taking to reduce energy consumption in their studio.
There's a lot of soul in Pittsburgh Glass Center.
It's one of the best in the country.
Like most of you, I try to spend my non-hot shopping studio time in the great outdoors, where I recharge.
I'm a huge nature enthusiast, have been all my life.
I live in the Pacific Northwest. I love the environment there.
Today we want to see pieces that are inspired by nature, full of meaning and hope. Use your art to stir emotions in others.
You'll have 4 hours to complete this challenge. Your final work will be evaluated based on your design, concept, technical skill, and overall presentation.
And as a bonus prize, Pittsburgh Glass Center would love to offer the winner of this challenge a 5-day residency in our studio. It's a cool prize. Definitely want to win.
But for one of you, this next week will be your last. Whoever doesn't blow us away will be asked to leave the hot shop. You have 4 hours on the clock. Your time starts now.
I'm going to be making some tall trees, but the catch is that they're going to be balancing on a tiny little point here. Now that I have a daughter, I definitely think about the environment differently. My 2-year-old daughter, she's super cute. She sings Twinkle Twinkle Little Star every hour. It's hard to leave my wife and daughter behind.
I am making a plate of deforestation. I've always been a vegetarian for 18 years. This challenge speaks volumes about my personal interest.
I'm making a small piece of a broken off iceberg that's going to be kind of packaged, so that gives the effect of it being like something you could buy.
I just wanted to think about preserving this beautiful jewel-like iceberg wrapped in plastic.
The best thing about glass is that it can be recycled and reformed. So I'm making a dung beetle rolling a ball of sort of squashed up vessels. There's detail and then there's destruction.
It's going to be a sculptural installation based on nature and the infinite. So it's a reminder that nature is both delicate and strong.
I want to convey the idea of second life for an object. I want it to be kind of a happy message. Hopeful. I think everyone is really starting to feel the pull. It's a physical pull doing this every day, but it's also like an emotional pull.
There's so many ways these things go wrong.
I'm ready for this one. I'm excited. I have a lot left to prove.
Alright, let's flip up. I haven't won a challenge yet. The competition is stiff. This will be it. It's pretty impressive, the level of skill and some of the people that are in the room, you know, it's like there's some really incredible glass blowers here. Chris Taylor, someone that's been around for a long time.
As close as I was to being eliminated last time, I'm now ready to turn up the volume.
That was great.
I'm just going to be a lot more aggressive. And
You know, they're really going through the whole hug scene.
I mean, now, really up and coming and very accomplished. Yeah. This is a fun, so I'm going to go to 3. My piece is
They made that a cutscene, though.
It's plastic. It's like so fun. Amazing. Just hold it just like that.
Piece of one.
Trees, but they have to balance. That's the catch.
I haven't made anything like
I just let it, so no.
Base, what it's going to balance off of, so I got to get the form right.
At least she didn't stand on a chair, she's just hugging him.
It doesn't balance. Falls apart.
Not look like that.
Huh?
Definitely look like she was doing something else.
Winning last challenge was wonderful, but that was last challenge. Like, up until this point, I was like, why am I here? Youngest, decent amount of experience. I'm just a little farm girl from New Jersey who likes fire. Ready?
Since this challenge is about the environment, are we going to see a lot of like doomsday clouds?
She's gonna get picked up between 3 and 6 tomorrow.
I hope not.
Like, what?
She's gonna get picked up between 3 and 6 tomorrow.
Hopefully closer to 6.
full of hope.
I get off at 3:30.
I mean, I think sometimes
When my dad gets off of work, he's coming.
it's overwhelming. It shuts people down. They don't know where to go. How can I make a difference? Versus a more positive approach. That, I think, really motivates people. My soul is really in this challenge. I'm an organic gardener. I compost everything. I have more house plants than any one human should ever have.
I really like this challenge.
Huh.
If I can execute all the parts that I want to make, then it's going to be really cool. Ideally, I would love to have 300 or more components for this piece. Leaves,
Should be
grass,
fine.
vines. I want to arrange them to make an infinity. By the time it all comes together, it's going to have a nice, powerful message. For the future, I have 2 kids. I'm trying to teach my kids that they need to be at one with the environment. Okay, go start another one.
Well, that looks like a burger.
Definitely interesting looking cheeseburger.
Hey, stop. Yep.
What Elliot's working on looks pretty time consuming.
I am sculpting my dung beetle's body.
Making an insect is really hard. It's got a certain amount of legs, it's got a certain amount of body parts.
The legs are like 2 liquids.
Take a little blob of glass, split it in half and fold it out, and then add a little bit of detail. If you understand the heat properly and how to work it, you can stretch it out by putting a few little nicks into the side to create these little spikes as you stretch.
Okay. Next one. Lovely.
I'm making a broken off piece from an iceberg. I am super cooling the outside of it, so it will spontaneously crack naturally. Okay, fine. And when it's not doing that, I'm taking a hammer to it.
Okay. That looks fun.
Oh, sorry. It's not the worst thing that it fell off, because it can get super cold. And hopefully it breaks off more naturally.
Chris is an artist. Like, artists and art.
Iceberg making here, right? Totally normal.
What are some of the issues of glass blowing in the environment?
One thing in the studio here is we have electric furnaces.
Oh, yeah.
So the electricity could come from renewable sources.
At Pittsburgh Glass Center, we take all the waste heat from our furnaces, and it actually heats our hot water in the building and the building itself. Certainly recycling as much as possible, too. So all the clear glass can go back into the furnace, get used again. Doing every little bit that you can makes a difference. This sounds really sweet. My studio is built with an eco-consciousness. I'm hoping my piece can inspire change just by creating a reminder for people that our resources are limited. The mushrooms are representing nature taking over. With time, nature will figure it out. Mushrooms have been found to actually help break down plastic. So I've got 2 colors, olive, brown, and then iris yellow, which is going to reduce to gold. The reduction flame is gas rich in oxygen.
Half the chest you can't even get right now.
And makes the glass look metallic.
Well, more than half.
I found one that I was able to
Alright! Second project! It is a French fry container! And they are the French fries. I look over my shoulder and Brad, he's got like the most amazing piece of glass. It looks like a TV antenna.
Straight up and down again. You know, I purposely avoided trying to make like replica trees. Like minimal and abstract. I want them to be tall trees. Like I want them to have a presence. Alright. Turned out alright.
Lovely. Piece is looking fantastic. Shiny. Legs are nice and thin.
Alright, hands on these, please.
Wow.
How did you know that was happening?
Because he was like, the piece is looking lovely.
Uh.
In shock. That is the worst thing that could happen. The legs are looking nice. Do all the legs again, put it on the base again. So yeah, a lot of time.
Everybody is watching.
When you start to get stressed, you start to move a bit more drastically. Chances of like hitting something and knocking it off become more, you know, so, and I felt pretty stressed.
line and stop. Heat it up as hot as you can get it on me. I just want to do this as quick as possible.
I had a feeling.
I feel nothing happen. Garbage. I got impatient. And with my brute animal strength, I went right through the glass. It's really hard when I feel frustrated in a hot shop. Like, you can feel yourself, like, getting, like, anxious. I'm gonna do that hole a little bit differently. Nice. Okay. We got in business.
Right now I'm using the flat cane that I pulled to make blades of grass.
Didn't have much chance to look around at other people's stuff, but it seemed like mediocre in contrast to what I was doing. While I'm like trying to blow things up, Mike's working with jewelry.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Mike. Looks like you're got your little lamp working station set
Yeah,
up
do you
here.
like that? I guess I'm all for it all the time. I wanted a lot of the components to be hot worked and manipulated into shape. That was a mistake, but I'm not letting anything go to waste here. In the idea of the challenge, I'm trying not to waste anything. I'm picking up all my broken pieces off the floor and finishing them into a workable component.
Well, I will leave you to it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, one trigger might work. These other ones, they keep breaking, they keep cracking.
I'm just having doubts about my design choices.
All broke?
How's it going, Brad?
Yeah, alright. That perfectionist in me has to like sit off to the side, and the guy who's like gets his stuff done has to get it done.
It looks really cool.
Thanks.
俺たちエルドリオとの戦いなんかでこの服確かによし。
I knew I'd get it right the second time. You can't make that mistake twice.
Mm.
It's just ridiculous. Nice and gentle.
Alrighty.
I'm not worried. I got 3 trees done. 2 I like, 1 I'm so I'd like 3, maybe 4.
I can make a couple of trees, I can make a fort. I love to make hands. That's like my favorite thing to do. So I'm pretending that this fort is just an exaggerated hand. Alright, go ahead and give that a little heat. This is going to be a pizza. Some of the details I want to get on. I'm thinking put strips to make it look
That
like
explains a lot.
It already makes it look like pizza. Alright, that's good. I will cut so that it will look like one slice is about to lift up. I want to give it a little bit of movement. I feel really good about this. I have a couple of other components to make, but we'll see the time.
We'll be trying to hammer out some bottles, hammer out some wine glasses, and he's making an awful lot of things.
So basically just making a ball of crap then.
Doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it's like a functional blown piece of glass.
I'm pretty sure that we saw him making a goblet earlier. Right, that's right, a goblet. Yeah, and I'm curious to see how all these elements are going to come together.
Yeah, basically take them out.
Not trying to make it look nice, trying to make it look squishy. It's going to be tricky. Sort of like when you see like a car get crushed.
Okay, stick it on first. Okay, that's great.
I didn't take into account just how far away my pickup kettle was. It's a large piece. Each time it gets harder, the piece is getting more heavy.
Go, go, beat me to the door.
The sweat on my hands is causing the iron to slip.
Absolutely massive.
If it's too straight, then I'll just have a budget and some broken glass.
Alright, everybody, 30 minutes left!
Thanks for reminding me. Rock and roll.
That's great. I'm really glad that everybody's busy, that they can't see that I'm doing the French pull, because it's time to pull away from the pad. Take your time in there.
The Frank tool can pull a membrane of glass up slowly, like a plastic sheet. It's still elastic. Okay, go for it. And you can control how thick that glass is by how quick you pull it up. Go, go, go. It looks exactly what I had hoped it would be doing. Beautiful.
Ooh, I like that. What the balls are you doing?
Want to start to heat that up?
I've read about this technique that's used. Trying something like that, pretty nuts.
I'm really glad that it's getting to the other competitors. I'm doing exactly what I need to do to win this challenge. From now on, we'll call it Christian or French.
11 minutes, everybody!
I'm feeling rushed now. I got a lot of components left to make. I'm so slow.
If I was at home working on this sculpture, I would use 4 weeks, not 4 hours.
Okay, get a turn it down.
Slow down! Great. I just have a couple more little things to do. Wow! That was awesome!
Maybe that.
Hey.
Alright. Go, 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 go. Hurl it.
There you go.
Good catch, Alyssa.
Buzzing. Woo! Great job! That was awesome!
感心してる場合じゃないよ。生かしてこの世の命じられているゆえ、貴様らを消し去りにも発信してこうして支援員を選択したい。
For this challenge, we were asked to create a piece of art that inspires people to think about climate change.
The dung beetle is representing nature has a way of recycling everything.
It looks exactly what I had hoped it would look like. The eyes are so.
I checked off all the boxes and I made something completely stunning. This is how I see the world, and I think it's beautiful. We eat the processed food because it's easier, and I want to bring the awareness how that is damaging to the nature.
The hope in my piece is that the environment, well, obviously very fragile, that it can come back.
Nature is here before us, it'll be here after us. We're the caretakers in this moment.
I'm speechless, actually. Kind of figure it all in.
Yeah. There's a lot of different approaches here, which
Technically and aesthetically.
yeah. In that, it could be hope that maybe there's lots of different ways we can approach preserving the planet.
This is Brad's piece.
I'm gonna
Oh my god.
set it as much as I want to touch it.
I'm definitely getting the fertility card.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that in itself is a statement.
From a technical standpoint, I wish that it was maybe a little less kind of clunky and awkward at the bottom.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like there's a few details, like even maybe this coming to nice paper over the top would kind of help.
I'm not exactly sure if this hits hope, maybe a little bit more on the feared side.
This is now a piece. And he looks pretty real.
I just really like the pizza with the light kind of missing from it.
I'm not sure that I'm seeing the hope.
There's a little bit of humor in it, and maybe the levity kind of helps.
This is Mike's piece. This is in the shape of an infinity symbol.
I do really like the way that the colors play. Those transparent and opaque. I think it really does make the piece pop.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised, honestly. I feel like we're seeing a lot of things with Mike that are very particular aesthetic, and this doesn't have it.
I think this is actually Mike's best piece.
I would agree.
So definitely the most hopeful piece that we've seen so far.
I think he nailed it.
Yeah. So this is Cat's piece. Cat splatter is serving as a lesson that animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation.
I really love the environment. I'm not sure I'm totally seeing the connection to deforestation. You know, if there was a knife instead of a spoon, I think that might help.
But how cool is this? You can actually see the rings in the tree trunk.
Yeah, it's very involved. It takes a lot of time. I think it paid off because they look really great. Again, the hope? Where is the hope?
Yeah.
This is Elliot's work.
I mean, I think the dung beetle is amazing. Very ambitious in the hot top.
I almost feel like you can see a goblet right here with the stem and then coming down to the foot.
To me, that's the message of hope here with working with glass, is that there is an aspect of it that is environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
This is Chris's work, and the title is Nature as Commodity. Catherine, is that plastic or glass?
It is glass. From across the room, I definitely thought that these were wrapped in cellophane or some kind of plastic wrap.
The foam tray is also deceivingly foam. And the ice. Like, it looks real.
Chris has this ability to replicate these other materials in glass very, very convincingly. Incredible.
Alright, so this is Andy's work.
I like where she's going with this idea.
I love the texture and the colors of the mushrooms. And I love that you immediately understand what the flowers are.
We definitely got the sense that these are the mushrooms that kind of grow on the side of trees.